But they're up against a very interesting German four, and also, as you can see, Romania, France, Australia and Belarus. So Great Britain, reigning world champions, leading the World Cup. Germany, though, of course, the Olympic champions. But Jutta Lau, has she found the combination that can ultimately bring them to the top again?
Well, she's got Katrin Boron back in the bow seat. Boron is made to go through this ritual every time she makes a comeback of going into the single, but she's not a single sculler, and it's usually humiliating for her. But now she's obviously proved her fitness and the other characteristics that are required, and she's back here in the bow seat of this Germany quad with Manuela Lutz, Susanne Schmidt and Stefanie Schiller in front of her. This is a recovery operation for them. And for Great Britain here, it's just a matter of work as normal in an ideal world, because they don't have China to worry about, and they have beaten all of these crews by reasonably big margins in the past.
Romania, who are in lane 5, 2 from the bottom of the picture, and then France, who are closest to you. Inen Pascal Pretre in the stroke seat, and this crew. Well, 2 of them came out of the 8 last year, and Inen was in the double scull. So, Kath Granger for Great Britain in the stroke seat, very much the crew maker here. Belarus. And you can see Olympic honours are plenty, World Championship victories as well.
Germany, Great Britain, Romania, France. Attention.
Quite a long hold.
Long hold, but good clean start by all.
Kath Granger, Frances Houghton, Debbie Flood, fully recovered, and Annie Vernon. So they're back to full strength. But we're going off with Steffi Schiller in the stroke seat, then Susanne Schmidt in 3. Behind her, Manuela Lutz and Katrin Boron in the bow of that German women's squad. And hey, how many times have we seen this, Hugh? Great Britain and Germany shoulder to shoulder.
But already Great Britain out in front. That's interesting. After the first 3 strokes, when you're lifting the boat from dead to moving, Britain set off at 46 strokes the minute, Germany at 45, and that's how fast you've got to go. And then about now, 40-50 seconds into the race, they will begin to reach, each stroke they'll reach a little bit further and find the race pace that will carry them over the middle thousand.
I'm absolutely certain that Paul Thompson, who coaches the women's group, and Katherine Granger, they will want to win this, but they will want to win this emphatically.
And I would have said 3/4 of a length in less than a minute is a pretty good emphasis. That's 38 strokes to the minute. They're in their race pace. They're really moving nicely, and I think they are very aggressive in their thinking inside that boat. And they will be. It'll be a very much a no mercy mission. This as they go out there. Germany are trying to prove something, trying to show that they've still got some class somewhere in that sculling squad that was invincible for so many years. Beaten by China for the first time in its history in 1994, 1993, beg your pardon, and back, then thereafter back in charge until very recently. But this is the quad that has become the benchmark. Winners in 2005, winners by default because the Russians were found to be contaminated with, one of them was found to be contaminated with drugs, so they lost their gold medal and given to Great Britain, who finished in 2nd place over the line in the World Championships last year, and now a length out on a field which is stretched to 2 lengths with open water behind Germany, which is in 2nd place. The race now is for 3rd between Romania and Australia. Yeah,
Australia quite interesting. Catriona Sens-Oliver in the stroke seat from Kerry Hoare, Amber Bradley and Amy Ives. That's the quartet for Australia. But I'm fascinated here, Hugh, because we haven't seen in these 3 World Cup regattas from the Australians the sort of build-up that we have in previous years towards the World Championship. Their presence hasn't been as definitive.
But the Australians are extremely well organised, as now is New Zealand, which is why we've been seeing and hearing so much about New Zealand. Australia is extremely well organised. They have a huge camp in Varese with footballers, with all sorts of people, cyclists doing different things there, and the consequence is that they know there's a game plan. There is a plan. They will be working to it. They know what they're doing, and the fact that we can't second guess them doesn't tell us anything. about how strong they'll be in Munich. We saw it last year, we'll see it this year.
So Catherine Granger has really got Great Britain out there. You can see Germany solid in second place there, and Romania in third. Again, this is the most we've seen from Romania in the build-up to the World Championships. They've taken their time. They've been doing, as we traditionally say, their thousands of kilometres, and now they've come into racing competition. Great Britain, Catherine Granger, Olympic silver, of course, in Athens, and with a quad in Sydney, behind the Russians.
Interesting, this is a fast-moving boat. You don't get great changes of pace in a quad. You're right up there all the time. And very curiously, this is a very stretched field. I mean, we would expect to see 4 boats in a row now, and we'd be wondering and talking about who was going to manage to push out in front. And we've got 4 boats in line astern almost. They're so far apart. This British crew looking unassailable unless the Germans do something completely unexpected. The Germans, frankly, looking quite ploddy at the moment, and it's Romania who look the freshest kids on the block, which they are for being younger.
In terms of the World Cup, these are stepping stones, of course, to the World Championships and the Olympic qualification regatta, but nonetheless, this is the 10th year of the FISA World Cup, and in all those years, as a nation, always Germany has been the dominant nation. Now, Great Britain with the victory in the lightweight 4, good points from Alan Campbell in the men's sculls behind Mahé Drysdale, and potentially another 8 going Britain's way here. This could be the afternoon that sees Great Britain take the overall World Cup title for the first time in a decade and break the stranglehold that Germany have had as a nation on this triple competition that dates back, as I say, to 1997.
Indeed, I mean, but you should get extra points for a big margin, and the Brit crew is a full length up on Germany. Germany doesn't look like it's got a response to that, and they're at 33, 34 strokes per minute all the way through this middle thousand. This is not really hard grind. They are doing their job, they're holding the length, and they'll have a little bit of a flourish at the finish, but this is a very competent day's work.
But you do want to send a message to the Chinese, don't you? I mean, what the British, Catherine Granger in particular, they were not happy about being deposed.
I think they're sending a message to themselves, because frankly I very much doubt that this result, or this film, this commentary will be heard or seen in China. I don't think they will. I mean, maybe the coaches will be watching it.
I think the
coaches are watching it, but the athletes won't be. They'll be just back out there trying to fight for their places.
I've asked you this question before, Hugh, but it's worth asking again. What makes Catherine Granger so special?
Because she didn't win in Athens, and she was a silver medalist there. She's a silver medalist back in Sydney. It's that Olympic gold that she's going for. She's got the maturity, the age, and she's got the determination. She knows exactly what to do, and so here they are winning with just under a length. I suppose it's a full 3/4 of a length, but in very untroubled style from Germany. Another length, half a length of open water back to Romania, another length back to Australia on the far side, and after that it's just unmeasurable. The Belarus crew is still 100 meters, 50 meters from the finish. This is hugely stretched field.
Let's have a look at the body language, if we can, for the British, because they look, look at that. They are so comfortable.
Yeah, okay, well, they're having a little bit of a puff, but nothing special at all. A wave, let's have a drink, let's have a debriefing. Annie Vernon in the bow, remember she had to fight for her place. Well, they all had to fight for their places. Paul Thompson, senior coach, women's squad, 6 world-class scullers, 7 world-class scullers with Laverick, and he just chooses how he's going to do it by making them race all through the winter and then assembling the crew on objective basis of their results. Annie Vernon won her place, but what was extraordinary about it was not that she was in, but you could